All right, let's dive into one of the biggest ideas in the world of dieting, this concept of turning your body into a fat-burning machine. It sounds amazing, right? A promise of almost effortless fat loss. But does it actually hold up? Let's find out. I'm sure you've heard this phrase, or something pretty close to it, let's make a body that uses fat well. I mean, this is the entire engine behind massive diet trends like keto and intermittent fasting. The promise is so simple. Just train your body to prefer fat for fuel, and that stubborn body fat will just melt away. But is it really that simple? I mean, if you could just flip a switch and become this fat-burning machine, would fat loss suddenly become easy, no matter what you ate? That's the big question we're going to tackle today. So let's get right into it and start to unpack why this whole fat-burning body idea is, well, mostly a myth. The answer to that last question, it's a really simple, straightforward no. Becoming a fat-burning machine is just not the magic bullet for losing body fat. And I know what you're thinking right now. Why not? Okay, so the scientific term for what people call a fat-burning body is metabolic flexibility. And all that really means is your body can efficiently switch between using carbs and fats for fuel. But here's the absolute most important part. Using the fat you eat for fuel is not, and I mean not, the same thing as burning the stored body fat you actually want to get rid of. And that brings us to a fundamental truth about dieting. You know, fads come and go, but there is one law of fat loss that absolutely never, ever changes. Look, researchers have studied this for decades. There's a big 2022 review by Kevin Hall that looked at all sorts of diets. And while a lot of them can work, they all succeed for one single reason. They all obey one simple, unshakable law. And here it is, the one non-negotiable rule of fat loss. You must be in a calorie deficit. You just have to burn more calories than you consume. That is it. This one principle is the foundation for every single successful fat loss diet out there. No exceptions. So let's really dig into that critical difference, right? The difference between what your body is using for fuel versus your total energy balance. I can practically hear you thinking it right now. Wait a minute, if my body is burning more fat for energy, doesn't that directly mean I'm losing more body fat? And you know what? It's a totally logical question, but it misses one key piece of the puzzle. And this table right here illustrates that missing piece perfectly. So yes, studies definitely show that diets like intermittent fasting and keto make your body better at burning fat for fuel. But, and this is the big but, when scientists control the study and make sure everyone eats the exact same number of calories, there is no superior effect on fat loss. None. Think about it like a bank account. It's the perfect analogy. On the left, if you're in a calorie surplus, it doesn't matter one bit if you're a fat-burning machine. Any extra energy you eat gets deposited as body fat. Now look to the right. If you're in a calorie deficit, it doesn't matter if you're burning mostly carbs during your workout. Your body has to withdraw from its savings, your stored body fat, to make up for that energy shortage. The overall balance is what matters, not which currency you're using in any one moment. So if being fat adapted isn't the secret to losing fat faster, are there any real benefits to it? Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about why it's still a pretty useful thing for your body. So the real perks of metabolic flexibility are all about how you feel and how you perform. When your body can easily tap into fat for fuel, you get much more stable energy levels. You feel less tired, less dizzy when you get hungry. And for athletes, this is a game changer for endurance. So yeah, it's about energy stability, not about faster fat loss. Okay, so what does this all mean for you? Well, it means you can stop chasing all these myths and start building a diet that actually works for your life. This right here is the ultimate takeaway. Just forget about finding the one magical diet that solves everything. The best diet for fat loss is simply the one you can stick with day in and day out without feeling totally miserable. Sustainability really is the name of the game. And this is exactly how you can put it into practice. If you genuinely love meat and richer foods, then a low-carb approach might feel super easy and sustainable for you. If you kind of hate eating breakfast and you'd rather have bigger meals later in the day, well, intermittent fasting could be a perfect fit. And hey, if you feel your best with consistent energy from several meals a day, a classic balanced approach is great. They can all work. But it doesn't matter which path you choose. Remember, they all have to funnel back to that one single non-negotiable principle. And that's it. A slight, consistent calorie deficit. Not a massive one that leaves you starving and miserable, but a modest, gentle one that you can maintain over the long haul. That is the only universal secret to fat loss. Period. So, really, it's time to stop chasing the myth of becoming some kind of magical fat-burning machine. Instead, ask yourself this one question. Knowing that a calorie deficit is the only rule that matters, what's the most enjoyable and sustainable way for you to follow it? The answer to that question? That's your perfect diet.